And now to introduce distinguished alumna Dr. Arleen Atkins, I'd like to invite to the podium from the class of 1970, the Weatherford College Dean of Health and Human Sciences, Kathy Boswell.
Wow, what a great event, and what a privilege it is for me to be able to introduce Dr. Arleen Atkins, a 2022 Distinguished Alumna. Arleen, as many of you may know, grew up in Crawford, Texas, which is a small town outside of Waco, and she has always been very passionate about education, and as she grew up, the same thing. She's always been very passionate. She instilled that in her children as well. One of her children is here with her today. She has a son, Brady, who is an engineer at Bell Helicopter, and Ashley Jackson, who is with her today. She's operator and project manager at Riverfront Capital Strategies, both graduates of Texas A&M. She has 7 grandchildren, ranging from 3 to 23 years of age. Oh, I'm sorry, 13. She told me there was a 25-year-old, but there's 23-year-old too. So, and 2 great-granddaughters. So she has a plethora of children to instill that same love of education for. She graduated from Charleston State University with a BS in Home Economics in 1973, and shortly afterwards, she and her husband moved to Mineral Wells, and she served as a Palapena County Extension agent. That is actually where I first saw Arleen. I was at one of her, she doesn't remember me, but I remember her. She was at one of the, at the Women's Club doing a presentation, and she had such a zest for education. In 1980, she began her long relationship with Weatherford College. She attended classes and got her real estate license. She also took some computer classes here, web design classes, I believe, and was an excellent student, of course. Recognized her extraordinary qualities as a student and an educator. She was hired by Weatherford College in 1983 as a part-time director of the Continuing Education Department. And from that point on, Dr. Atkins has moved up through the ranks of Weatherford College, providing service to her community and to her college as well. In 1987, she was made director of the Education Center in Mineral Wells. In 1990, she was the Dean of Student Services, Vice President of Instruction in 1998, Dean of Institutional Effectiveness in 2009, and sadly for the college, she resigned in December. So we have lost her as an employee, but we have gained her as an ex-student and a wonderful mentor to this college. She received, while working here, her master's degree from Charleston State University in counseling and a doctorate of education from the A&M Commerce. On a personal note, she's getting frightened. On a personal note, Dr. Atkins has always been an excellent educator, mentor, a leader, a friend, a counselor, and a role model to her students, to the staff, to the faculty, and to her friends. Anyone who meets her immediately recognizes what a gracious and dedicated person she is. There are so many things I could speak about relating to the years that we have worked together, about a little over 37 years. But she has censored me and told me that I cannot speak of some of the things that I would like to, but I would like to say this. Although over the years we've seen a lot of shenanigans on business trips and college activities, we were not involved in those. We were only witnesses. So I know she was frightened that I would say something. Again, it is with a great pleasure that I introduce my dear friend and colleague, Dr. Arleen Atkins.
Thank you, Kathy, for not saying those things you could have said. I am truly honored to receive this award. When I think about all the Weatherford College alumni, business business owners, CEOs, those who have served our country in the armed forces, those who play professional sports, and those who have won Grammy Awards. We even have a former Miss Texas. I am truly humbled. Yes, I grew up on a farm in Crawford, Texas, and I was very active in the 4-H club. So I thought being a county extension agent would be the perfect career. And it was a good career until I got married and had a baby and realized that extension work hours, night meetings, weekend meetings, weeks away at 4-H camp, were not compatible with raising small children. So that's when Weatherford College came to the rescue and met my needs. Like many students, you would be surprised how many students with bachelor's and even master's degrees come back to Weatherford College for job skills. So Weatherford College was offering a program in real estate, and I enrolled. And 2 months before Ashley was born, I got my license, put it on inactive status because I was going to be a stay-at-home mom for a while. Well, attending Weatherford College is more than just getting those hours, getting those credentials. It's about building relationships with fellow students, with faculty, with staff. In fact, I've got some of my lunch bunch here today from Weatherford College. We've been going to lunch on Tuesdays every week for over 20 years. Thank you for being here. Well, I had gotten to know Dr. Gary Stretcher, who is our vocational dean. And while I was taking courses, he called me up one day and he said, "Arleen, I've got a part-time job available and I'd like for you to apply." Well, I wasn't really ready to go back to work, but my husband was starting a business and we needed a little extra money, so I thought, okay, I'll apply. And I interviewed with Dr. E.W. Mintz, who was president. Brad Tibbetts was the academic dean, and I really felt guilty during those interviews because I thought, well, I'm only going to do this for a few months and then I'm going to go home, be a stay-at-home mom, sell a little real estate with that license that I got through Weatherford College. Well, 39 years later, I retired. So I think it worked out, and I've still got that real estate license if retirement doesn't work out. Well, a few years after I went to work here, Raymond, the computers got smaller, and I put one on my desk, and I didn't know what to do with it. So again, like many of our students, I enrolled in Weatherford College again to take computer classes. Both my children went to Weatherford College with very different needs. Weatherford College fills a lot of needs for a lot of students. Me for job retraining and upgrading my job skills. Well, my son went straight to A&M. He was an engineering major. He was a member of the Fightin' Texas Aggie Band. Didn't have a lot of spare time. So in the summers, he would come home, take courses at Weatherford College. So Weatherford College filled his need for university summer students. My daughter Ashley was a dual credit student at Weatherford College. She graduated a year early, so she took academic classes here, what would have been her senior year. Now, she only spent 3 years at A&M. Brady spent 5 years. And Ashley always said we owed her for that year that she came to Weatherford College and saved money. Well, now I'm glad to say that Weatherford College fills the need for students who come and get job training, go straight into the workplace, then find out that to get into management and supervisory positions, they need a bachelor's degree. And now it makes me proud as an alumni and a former student that we offer bachelor's degrees. Now, I took one class that where I think I helped fill Weatherford College's need. I was Dean of Student Services, and our goal that fall was to enroll 2,000 students. That was going to break an all-time record. So we got to count day. We had 1,998 students. So we were gathered around in student services kind of lamenting that we only needed 2 more students to break our record. Well, Dwayne Durrett was director of admissions, and he said, I could take a drum class like he needed it. I said, well, okay, I could take a piano class, and I needed it. So we enrolled that very day, and we reached our 2,000 benchmark for enrollment. But you know, Weatherford College has really been a blessing to me, whether it was taking classes or in the many roles that I was able to work in while I was here during my career. I just feel very blessed and very honored. Thank you so much.